It is Friday, August 16th. Welcome to the Damon Bruce Show, brought to you by Ike Sandwiches. It's great to have you here. Just went over 23,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Please hit like and subscribe. We're going to be doing post-game after Niner games all year long. Post-game and Damon back with a vengeance indeed. And it's really good to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping on by today. And my promise to you today is simply this. I'm going to try to make this a Brandon Ayuk free show. I've got my Ayuk fatigue. It is real. I think it's real for you. It's real for me. I don't want to go through much more of it at all. And I don't think you do either. So let's just put that aside and talk about something interesting that has actually popped up. And unfortunately, we want to avoid Brandon Ayuk pain and headache to basically go into the single most sensitive scab to pick among 49er fans there possibly could be, and that would be a look back at last year's Super Bowl. Richard Sherman's podcast on the Volume had a very interesting episode, and I have seen the clip of him and Diamador Lenior talking about regrets of last year's Super Bowl. Are you ready for a little regret? I hope you are. Let me see if I can actually play this video for you. Hopefully I won't have too many regrets getting all fancy with my technology. Here we go.
Question, because I never watched it. Did you ever get a chance to go back and watch the Super Bowl?
I went back. I had to watch it. Like, I just had to see. But I kind of felt, because like I talked to Wilkes like before the game, and I was just telling them how I was feeling. You know, I was like, you know, me, I watch a lot of film, so I was just seeing where the ball was going. And I was like, it's mainly in between the hashes, you know, it's going to the slots. Like, they don't really got no dominant outside guy. Right. So like, I was telling them, like, I feel like I should be in the slot this game. Like, I never came to him, because I never questioned the coach, never questioned decisions and nothing. I came to him. That was the only time I came to him, and I said that. But you know, they had their philosophy, and what they felt worked, was going to work, and they made that decision. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just roll with it, and I'm gonna just try to do what I can to help us win.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you this from experience, and as an old man who don't play no more, just go talk to Kyle. Yeah. Like, at that point, look, if you get any kind of feeling in your heart, any kind of inkling, just go talk to Kyle. Let it. Hey, it's his team. It's his what do you want to do with it? Because I think that'll move the needle next time. Like, if you'd have said that to him, you'd have been playing inside the Super Bowl, and that would have been the end of it. Like, he would have lived with it. He would have lived with it because it was a gut feeling from you. It's one of those things, the universe and the energy and all that. It would have happened just like that. Question, because I never watched it. Did you ever?
So there you go. You got a very interesting conversation between Richard Sherman and Diamador Lenior, where, look, three things first jump right out to me. Very interesting conversation. I'm glad that Richard Sherman was able to get that out of Diamador Lenior. You know, hindsight always being 20/20. You look back on things, your regrets, your regrets, and it's all right there for you. Look, I wonder how much of that, if any of that, went into the Steve Wilkes dismissal. Like, was Kyle thinking of that as he's writing the pink slip saying, we're all done with you as defensive coordinator, which happened not long after the Super Bowl? Number two, I wonder if that conversation has happened between Diamador Lenior and Kyle Shanahan since the dismissal of Steve Wilkes. Or, like, would Kyle Shanahan have found out about this through the Richard Sherman podcast for the very first time, that, man, my player had the instincts to want to go ahead and play on the inside, but he didn't want to step on his coach's toes. And as a young player, like, I get that. I really do. My single biggest takeaway, though, from the entire thing, the biggest takeaway from the entire thing in that conversation right there is what Richard Sherman said to Lenior. You should have gone to Kyle. You know, as the old man in the room, I'm going to tell you, you should have gone to Kyle. You should have gone right to your coach and told him about that, and Kyle would have listened to you. You know, we all have this label on Shanahan, and I think some of it's very well earned, of him being a bit of a control freak. There's no doubt he's a control freak, but he might have listened to his player in that moment. And I really wonder if that wouldn't have been a major change in the outcome of the Super Bowl. We do know this, that Diamador Lenoir was playing in the slot quite often on the way to the Super Bowl. He played on the outside in that Super Bowl, so Logan Ryan ended up playing slot corner. Dave Lombardi says Ryan gave up 5 catches on 7 targets, and it felt like in the middle of the field is when, Travis Kelce started to operate, and we keep on saying, well, it was when Dre Greenlaw went out with an injury. I'm sorry to pick the scab here, but it was Dre Greenlaw's injury which really opened up Kelce, which changed the flavor and the dynamic of the game. Maybe. I mean, there's no doubt. You can't minimize the Dre Greenlaw injury. But, man, that hurts. That hurts because maybe the right idea expressed by the player in the right moment would have changed things dramatically. So, if you're a 49er watching this, take Uncle Sherm's advice. Go to Kyle when you have a hunch, a gut feeling. Gut feelings are important things. They are in sports. I really believe that. This is why baseball, I think, is so wrong to just turn away from its gut and only focus on math half the time. Gut feelings are important. Dave Lombardi followed up on this. He watched that video too, and he said, look, the 49ers have made some really big changes to their secondary since. So there's no doubt that the ramifications of that Super Bowl sort of changed the way the 49ers are looking at themselves. And I really do think as they're preparing to take the field this year, the back end of that defense might be one of the strongest position groups on the team. They signed Isaac Yiadom. They signed Rock Ya-Sin. They drafted Renardo Green. They have replaced Steve Wilks as defensive coordinator, and basically Brandon Staley, from what we've actually seen with him on the field, while his position in the hierarchy of game planning feels like it's, somewhere up there under Shanahan, above Sorensen, but maybe equal with Sorensen. He has been working with the secondary, primarily the defensive backs, since he has gotten here. So the ramifications of the Super Bowl and what we can extract from that conversation between Richard Sherman and Diamador Lenoir have led to changes. But, oh, man, hindsight always being 2020. Imagine if you could go back in time and just say, like, hey, man, Lenoir, he played in the slot and everything changed. I don't know if he was that good then. Hopefully he is this good now to help the 49ers. It's going to be a really interesting season with some changing parts that better make this team better. And look, I don't want to get into any element of Brandon Ayuk today. I know that is the number one story out there. I know it is the number one story and point of concern for 49ers fans, and I don't want to give disservice to the number one story. But really, we've told it as much as humanly possible. The element of this story that remains is its conclusion. When we get to the conclusion of the story, we'll be all over it. But there's no more covering the thinking. There's really no more covering the maybe, especially since the position of this channel the entire time has simply been, go ahead and spend the money to bring these guys in. Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, what are we doing? What are you doing? Get them in. Get them in now, because it is 49ers and Saints coming up on Sunday, 5 o'clock, baby. So you're running out of time. And that was yesterday's show. So heed the warning, 49ers. My official professional advice is quit dicking around. And apparently, John Lynch on KNBR even said, yeah, there's a little urgency in the building to get something done here. Again, as long as the guy's not traded, I think he's coming back. I really do. And Trent Williams, this is a non-negotiable. He has to be back, so he's got to be back too. And since both of these guys have to be back, you might as well pay him what you need to and get him back now. Good God. God, I can't say another word about it. I won't say another word about it. Not when I'm here to tell you about delicious sandwiches from my man Ike. He has got you covered. Not only this afternoon for lunch, I want you to think about going to Ike's for dinner. Download that app. Be very happy that you did, because you will start eating your way towards free sandwiches. You'll be earning bonus points that stack up like all the layers of flavor in these sandwiches, to earn your way towards free sandwiches, whether you're going in to order in person, whether you're going to have it delivered. Go through that app and make sure your account is accruing sandwich interest, if you don't mind me saying, and you will be interested in all of Ike's sandwiches. And then you will certainly be interested in returning the Dubliner. If you've never been, you got to go. The Dubliner West Portal, phenomenal bar, south part of the city, south part of West Portal. It is, if you're living in Daly City, you want to come into San Francisco, you don't have to drive all the way into San Francisco to go to a great San Francisco bar, the Dubliner in West Portal. My guys, Kenny and John, waiting on you. Just really looking forward to making sure that you are taken care of, and believe me, you will be taken care of. Take care of this channel by taking care of my sponsors. Eat at Ike's, drink at the Dubliner West Portal. And thanks again for being, hopefully, one of the subscribers who has now put us over 23,000 subscribers. We're still a million away from where I want to be. About give or take 23,000. I want 1 million subscribers. I'm getting greedy. I really am. It's going to take a while to get there, but I think we are going to get there together. I know that. I believe that. Could take a while, but we're going to get there, because guess what? There's no stopping this. There is no stopping this. And there's no stopping any post-game in Damon, which will be coming up on Sunday. There was a glitch in my matrix, if you will, and I was unable to have this show's studio presented for you. So there was nothing combats me, nothing sabotages me more than an update. So there was an update that I wasn't prepared for. I wasn't ready to adjust to. I think we got it now. Hopefully we're actually streaming here. But we will be letting you know that we're coming to you live after the 2-minute warning. As soon as you see that fourth quarter 2-minute warning, come to YouTube, and that's where you're going to find post-game and Damon for a little 49ers and Saints. Again, the game kicks off in Santa Clara at 5 o'clock, so we'll be on to, I don't know, what's that, 8 o'clock, about 3 hours, you know? So we will be hopefully hanging out together this Sunday night. Of course, Larry Krueger and I will be all over this football season with Wake Up. I'm very, very proud to announce soon a sponsor attached to Wake Up as well. So we're growing. This is happening. There's no stopping this. And soon we will all achieve maximum football! But you can't really get there until you're playing real regular season games. So that will happen on September 9th when the New York Jets get to town. But in the meantime, it is a preseason game against the New Orleans Saints, and here are 5 things to watch, okay? 5 things to watch. Number 1, of course, it's the question you have to ask yourself anytime you sit down and watch a preseason game. Which ones, and I don't mean which ones, I mean ones on the depth chart, 2s on the depth chart. Which guys at the top of the depth chart are actually going to play in this game, if at all? The fact that the team was running out of bodies when the week started, you're probably going to be tiptoeing around that as the week ends. So I doubt, or I don't think, I haven't read anything, I don't know, but I mean, I think I'd be surprised to see too many 1s on the 49ers depth chart in a game before games really mattered. Number 2, Malik Mustafa. We will, I'm guessing, be seeing him and Dominic Pooney, who had Fred Warner talking about how impressive he was in one of his podium moments this week after training camp practices. Look, another really good game out of Mustafa and another really good game out of Purdy is going to go a long way to playing time for them, if not starting time for them. Pooney and Mustafa are stacking good day on top of good day on top of good day. And if they put another good game on top of a good day, It's all moving in the right direction for those two. Number 3, I want to see something from a tight end not named George Kittle. Tight end, show me something. It's a very interesting room. There's talent in that room. It's not established. Who is going to establish themselves as this team's true second tight end? Will it be Braden Willis? Will it be this Tongues kid? Will it be Pline? Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? So that is where my eyes are going to be coming up on Sunday. Number 4, Cody Schrader. Get that rock and do something with it. I don't want to be talking about how your best play was a blitz pickup, although very important to pick up your blitzes. I need Cody Schrader to do something with a ball that makes me go, ooh, yeah, I'd like to see that. And I'm sure everyone would like to see that, including the coaching staff. Again, McCaffrey need not play before the real deal starts. I don't really need to see Jordan Mason out there at all either. That guy's ready to go. Elijah Mitchell, let's get it going if you're healthy enough to get going. And an awful lot of Cody Schrader, I hope, is going to be part of Sunday. Cheers, by the way. Not just, it's not water, it's iced coffee, though. I iced up the coffee. Ice up, son. I iced up the coffee. And it's good. It's good. So I know an awful lot of you probably had your sip of the days all screwed up with today's show's late start. So thank you, by the way. Thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Finally, is Kyle going to go back to calling plays? I know that he gave up the play calling responsibilities to Clay Kubiak and then went on to say he was bored as hell during the game. So I wonder if Kyle's back calling plays and he's getting his own the coach tune-up ready to go in the Saints game as well. So there you go. You know, whenever we start a show, we like to start with the NFL. We look in, then we kind of pull out. So that's all you need to know about the Niners. I hope this was as Ayuk-free a program as you're getting all day. There's a lot of people constantly talking about him. I'm ready for the end of the story. I feel that we have told it in its entirety. The only thing we need to know is how it ends. Someone needs to finish the third act so we know how it ends. I don't know if this is a smooth transition or not, but you know, we're not going to know how it ends for Colin Kaepernick because what Colin Kaepernick is going to mean going forward, it's going to mean more what he does off the field, but his name was back in headlines just this past week because Colin Kaepernick was apparently like offered a position on Jim Harbaugh's Chargers staff, right? Jim Harbaugh offered Colin Kaepernick a chance to join his staff. And then the quote today is, I love Colin, but he's not going to be on the coaching staff, which is set for this year. And he's not going to be playing on the roster either, which no one thought that was going to happen. Harbaugh said Thursday that it wasn't the first time he's touched base with Kaepernick about coaching and that he actually mentioned it a couple times when he was in Ann Arbor with Michigan. Kaepernick, who is going to be turning 37 in November, hasn't played an NFL game since January 1st, 2017. Good God. 2017 officially feels like a lifetime ago. Seriously, a lifetime ago. 2017? That might as well be 1984 at this point. I mean, that feels like such a long time ago. Kaepernick played 6 seasons with the 49ers to varying degrees of success. Obviously, he started and played pretty darn well in a Super Bowl, but it was not meant to be. Was he in Paris for the Olympics? I don't know. He talked recently to Britain's Sky Sports during the Paris Olympics. I don't know if he was there or not, but he also said that he still hopes of playing again. Come on, dude, you're not going to be playing in the NFL again. No one's going to be taking a 37-year-old Colin Kaepernick and expecting them to do anything as a player. As a coach, there could be something there. But as a player, Colin, give it up. I mean, if you're talking about working out to stay in shape, great. Congratulations. But you're not going to be picking up a career that's been put down since 2017. And that's got nothing to do with like NFL forces working against him. That's the natural aging process of any professional athlete. You know, who comes back all those years later. It just doesn't happen. And let's be completely honest, Colin Kaepernick's beginning was fantastic. The beginning of the middle was great, and then it ended so controversially. But before the controversial ending, and what was a reason why it took me a while to really believe in the level of sincerity that he was attaching to his protests, was because I thought it was sort of distracting from the fact that he wasn't who he used to be. Like, after Jim Harbaugh left to go to Michigan, Colin Kaepernick's record was 3-17 in his last 20 games. He went from really interesting young player to kind of forgot how to do it or do it well, or, that team sort of went in the wrong direction and fell apart around him too. But it felt like Colin Kaepernick was at the center of the team's struggles, not just the beneficiary of them. He played a game in Chicago that was about as bad a football game as I've ever seen any quarterback play. He was non-functional. So I'm not rooting against Colin Kaepernick. No one should be rooting against Colin Kaepernick, especially if what he did was crafted out of a true nobility. But we haven't not heard much from him since, other than to, put up the false flag that I might want to play again one day, but I was offered a chance to come and coach, and I said nah to. If Colin Kaepernick really wants to be around the NFL, he's got a really funny way of showing it. And I know that the NFL showed him a really funny, terrible ending to his career, and there's maybe hard, bitter feelings and invisible forces working against him. But Kaepernick, the player, my friends, that is Finn. It's like the end of a French film, since this all happened during a Olympic interview. Finn. It's not happening. I don't mean he's dolphin. I mean Finn. Finito. Over. It's a gorgeous day outside. That's why I want a little iced coffee. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Got the front door open. Nice breeze coming in the house. If it's nice in my neighborhood in San Francisco, it is freaking gorgeous everywhere else. Because I live right in the fog belt. Going to Berkeley tonight, by the way. Going to the Greek, one of my favorite places in the world. Tell you more about that in just a little bit. We got to talk a little money, though, because we have a new record. Ding, 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 ding. Congratulations. Sportico has put out its franchise evaluations. And the Dallas Cowboys have made history by becoming the first professional sports team to surpass a valuation of $10 billion. $10 billion. Sportico had the Cowboys worth $9.2 billion just last February. So look at that year-over-year growth for a team that just can't be taken seriously because of Jerry Jones and how meddlesome he is as an owner. But as a brand, you can't argue with it. Like I've always said, whatever, I don't care whether the Cowboys or Yankees are winning or losing. Those are such massive brands, they almost have to be worth twice as much as the average team of a baseball team or football team in the Cowboys case. That's how big they are. Look, you can hate the Dallas Cowboys, being so many 49er fans watching. I'm guessing the vast majority of you hate the freaking Dallas Cowboys, but don't deny them their place. That's a big brand, baby. The Rams are now worth the second most, $7.79 billion evaluation. That leapfrogs them over the New York Giants. By the way, Dallas Cowboys, poorly run. New York Giants, forever poorly run. And that is the first and third most valuable team. The Rams are second. Thank you, SoFi Stadium. You put an awful lot of value onto that team. And obviously, moving markets from St. Louis to LA worked out financially. Too bad St. Louis had to get screwed over for that to happen. But there's no doubting that was the right move for the league if the Rams are now worth $7.79 billion. The New England Patriots are holding on to a fourth spot. They're worth $7.31 billion. And then the San Francisco 49ers round out the top five with a valuation of $6.86 billion. And I'm telling you, if Jed York put a for sale sign on the If Jed York put a for sale sign today on the front lawn of the 49ers, they'd go for 7, 8, 9 billion easily. Easily. Because these things are so rare and valuable on the open market. And if Jerry Jones really today said, I'm selling the Dallas Cowboys, he'd get 12, 13 billion. You would have folks coming in way overbidding for the opportunity. So, I'm telling you, if the Dallas Cowboys were worth $10 billion this morning, they're $10.1 billion by the time this sentence is over. That is how fast these evaluations are growing. Among the biggest movers in this year's rankings, according to Sportico, Tampa Bay Buccaneers jumped 12 spots to 16th place with a valuation of $5.5 billion, a 33% increase. A 33 Baker Mayfield effect, I guess. The Los Angeles Chargers, which is really weird because, they don't actually have a stadium. They just rent from the roommate. So, no one gives a shit about the Chargers. Did I call them San Diego Chargers? That's part of the problem right there. They're in Los Angeles and nobody gives a rip. And they actually lost a little bit of a valuation. They went from being ranked 16th to dropping to 22nd. The average NFL team is now worth $5.93 billion. Let's round that bad boy up and just say that an average NFL team is worth $6 billion. This is a 15.5% increase from last year. 15.5% increase year over year. That's extraordinary. I mean, the NFL just can't go wrong. Just can't go wrong. Can't lose money. Can't blow it. Can't. Just, it's literally too big to fail. At the bottom of the list, by the way, your Cincinnati Bengals, valued at $4.71 billion. They're the league's least valuable franchise, and that's what you get when being cheap screws defines you as much as their fantastic helmets. I've always loved Cincinnati's helmets. Speaking of valuable franchises, the Golden State Warriors schedule is out. They will have their home opener against the Clippers on October 27th. I got to be completely honest. The NFL schedule coming out is a really big deal. Baseball schedule, you want to see when your team's coming to town. The NBA schedule release is like okay, whatever. Like, doesn't mean much. I don't care about any element of round robin, in-season tournament group play. Like, tell me who you're playing on Christmas. And for the Warriors, I didn't even have to look. I knew who they were going to be playing on Christmas. It's going to be Warriors-Lakers on Christmas, right? Look at the schedule. Yep, we were right. Warriors and Lakers on Christmas Day. They'll have 36 nationally televised games. The Warriors only second to the Lakers in nationally televised games, and that's why their valuation is number one in the NBA. Warriors are a money-making monster, and they still attract more eyeballs than just about anybody. First name Stephen, last name Curry. Guy's pretty good. So interesting stuff, to say the least, here coming out of the Bay Area, but I'm so happy I'm not on 95.7 The Game today saying like, oh, and then in week 3, it's the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know when the Milwaukee Bucks are coming to town. Just for example, I cannot even begin to do the, ooh, look at this random Wednesday night NBA game. Isn't that a special game coming up right now? No, it isn't. Although you do peruse the schedule, you see the Warriors don't have an easy start to their season. So, go play defense and win some frickin' basketball games. What else we got going on here today? I thought this was a really interesting story. It's an interesting story. I know we've been working a little locally here. I'm going to go national. I'm going to go, Miami's sort of an international city. It really is. Miami's a fun town. The Miami Hurricanes are a team that I spent a lot of time in my youth rooting for. The Hurricanes were dope as hell when I was a little kid. The U, baby. I was a big Miami Hurricanes fan. John Ruiz, is one of the biggest Miami Hurricane fans of all time. As a matter of fact, he is a Miami alumni who made himself a big old pile of cash and went very public as the man who was going to make the Canes tops in NIL. He was a huge part of their funding branch. John Ruiz was spending an awful lot of money around the program on recruits. And that's the way it was anyway. And I'll tell you, man, NIL's got a lot of pros and cons attached here. Lots of pros and cons attached to this moment, to this situation. Pros, kid gets paid. Cons, where's this money coming from, and can you really trust it? And when the money dries up in one place, who's going to come and pick up the bills that have been agreed to? I'm sure that this is a question being asked right now in Coral Gables with the news today that John Ruiz's company, Life Wallet, which has been a huge source of NIL funds for the Hurricanes, is going broke. The Miami Herald reports significant doubt that Life Wallet will continue to function as a company. The Miami Herald has learned that Ruiz and his health insurance claims company, Life Wallet, are target of a federal, civil, and criminal investigation, and the ongoing federal probes mark an unprecedented level of trouble for a one-time TV show host whose business practices and outsized lifestyle invoked comparisons to Donald Trump. And apparently part of that comparison is this guy is a little bit of a fraud, just like the aforementioned former president. Ruiz once valued Life Wallet at $32 billion, and his stock was trading at $10 a share. Today, it trades at 29 cents a share. He told his people that his projected revenue was $992 million prior to the 2022 fiscal year, and he took in about $23 million. So just a little outside. You said to everyone you're about to make $1 billion, basically. And you come home with $23 million. I mean, good money for schmucks like us, but if you're promising $1 billion and I show up with $24 million, you're going to look at me like, not even close. Not even close, dude. So there you go. Let's see how quickly, if at all, that devastates Miami's athletic department, for goodness sakes. Careful who's paying your bills. You don't want that stream to start drying up, and we'll see what happens with the Miami Hurricanes. It's interesting, though. Very, very interesting story. So what else we got going on here? We got Bay Area baseball. Dark tonight. Neither the Giants nor the A's play this evening. The Giants will be, though, making their last trip to Oakland. The Coliseum. Their last trip, what, ever? You can't say ever, never when the A's are involved. 2 games against the A's on Saturday and Sunday for the Giants. The White Sox then come to town to take the Giants on. So you got, 5 games, 2 of them against the A's, then 3 at home against the White Sox. If the Giants go 1-4, I will just be laughing my ass off. They were lucky to avoid Broomhilda thanks to Logan Webb and actually generating some offense in a getaway day for Atlanta. Gorgeous day down at the Yard yesterday. But there you go. The White Sox are actually so freaking bad, they're kind of interesting. So maybe if you're all done watching the most boring 500 baseball team that you could ever see, the White Sox will let you see what true ineptitude looks like. The San Francisco Giants should look like world beaters compared to the White Sox. So at least you got that going for you. And let me tell you what I got going for me, man. And I hope that everybody gets great weekend weather for a great Bay Bridge series over at the Coliseum. If you're going to bother going out, I guess, by the way, welcome to the fuck John Fisher portion of today's show. Fuck that guy. But I wouldn't ever give him a penny, but last Bay Bridge series, like, I understand how you might have to cave and get in there for that one if you still matter, if this still matters to you. I'm going to be in Berkeley tonight. It's my wife's friend. She's my friend too, Alana. It's Alana's birthday. Alana and Robin were the couple because they have kids, our kids' age as well. And when we went on a little vacation up to Tahoe not too long ago, we went up with Alana and Robin. And when we were sitting outside one night, smoking joints, hanging out in the evening, when the kids were to bed, she was like, hey, there's this really kind of eclectic band that I'm sort of getting into coming to Berkeley. Would you want to go see Khruangbin at the Greek? And I'm like, number one, the Greek is my favorite musical venue probably in the entire world. So I would go see New Kids on the Block at the Greek. And maybe not, but I love going to the Greek. If I'm mildly interested in seeing that band and they're at the Greek, I am going. Khruangbin, remember when we were doing those AMP shows? There was a lot of people asking me as I was sharing my musical tastes and flavors, like, Damon, you're going to check out Khruangbin, this band? And I never really read that because I didn't know how to say the word. And I think that it's a terrible name for a band. And they even have said, had we known this band was like going to actually work or take off in any way, we would have given it a better name. But Khruangbin is the band I'm going to see in Berkeley tonight with my wife and our friends. And I cannot wait. It's a gorgeous day. Jack, my 5-year-old, starts kindergarten on Monday, so big weekend, baby. Big weekend. Going to Berkeley, kids growing up. I'm going to check out Khruangbin. They're a different band. They're here. I've been listening to them a little bit, to try to get accustomed to them. So I'm walking in with some knowledge of the show. I don't know them very well. Khruangbin makes great background music. It's great ambient kind of background music. I've heard they put on a great show, so we'll review on Monday, if you will, along with 49ers and Saints and, Brandon Ayuk headaches and any and all things. Today in history. I told you we're wrapping up shows with a little today in history. Happy birthday, not only to my friend Alana, but happy birthday to Madonna. Madonna is 66 years old today. She's like still out dancing around and putting on concerts and stuff. Probably playing that "Aren't I Still Really Sexy" card just a little too hard. But I respect Madonna. You should respect Madonna too. Madonna's been a force for longer than most anybody gets in music, certainly more than most female solo artists ever get in music. So respect Madonna. I don't think she's put out a very good song in a long time. But the last really good song she put out was that music makes the people come together. I mean, that was a long time ago now, so right? I didn't really like all that other stuff that she put out. This is the ray of light. No, thank you. No, thank you. Madonna's single best song to this day, in my mind, is still Holiday. I love Holiday. What's a great freaking song. Whenever I know I'm going on vacation or doing anything, I like putting on a little Holiday while I'm packing. Seriously, I like the song Holiday by Madonna. I also love just about everything Aretha Franklin ever did. And it is, Madonna's birthday. Sadly, today in pop culture history, it was also the day Aretha passed away, today in 2018. What I want you to do, your homework assignment when you're done watching this video, this live stream here today, your homework assignment, if you choose to accept it, is to go listen to the song Rock Steady by Aretha Franklin. We all know about her other hit, Rock Steady by Aretha Franklin. Let me tell you, if she didn't want to be the queen of soul, she could have rocked out. She could have rocked out, man. Aretha could do it all. If it had a microphone attached to it, there was nothing Aretha couldn't do. Rock Steady is freaking awesome. It is a gorgeous day outside here. Hopefully, wherever you are, whether you're listening in the Bay, in California, in America, in Japan, over in Ireland, I don't care where you're in the Philippines. I don't care where. I hope it's a great day for you. I want you to listen to Rock Steady with the windows down, enjoying the sunshine by Aretha Franklin, and tell me that Uncle Damon didn't steer you in the right direction. Rock Steady by Aretha Franklin. You're welcome, everybody. Also, since this is basically a sports show, or that's what it was conceived to be in some sort of way, shape, or form, I feel like I should let you know that today, all the way back in 1954, the very first issue of Sports Illustrated came out and was published. And Sports Illustrated is now basically dead, which sucks. And Aretha Franklin is dead, which sucks. But at least we got Madonna. And at least it's my friend Alana's birthday. And at least I get to go to the Greek tonight and enjoy myself. We got football, preseason, but football nonetheless this weekend. Jack's going to kindergarten on Monday. Big things happening all around. A new sponsor to tell you about being attached to Wake Up with yours truly and Larry Krueger that we'll be telling you about as soon as we flip the calendar over to September. And it's happening, baby. It's growing. We're over 23,000 subscribers, which I'm very, very proud of. Again, we're looking for at least 900,000 more than that, but we got to start somewhere. And that's a good place to start. I thank you all for helping me get off to this good start. If you are new here, my goodness, hit like and subscribe. We normally get going every day at 11 a.m. West Coast time. Didn't today because of the restream glitch. We got it taken care of. I think we do. Like this is happening right now. I see comments happening. This is good. By the way, it's a Friday, so let's. Actually, I know I told Jillian because we got to take Jack out of his final day of daycare and go over to a little orientation for his new kindergarten. So I really can't Club Plus with you. We will Club Plus once again next week. But this was an awfully fun show today. I'm glad we got it up, out, and on time. I thanks all of you so very much. Let's just dip into the chat a little bit. We haven't done any chat today. We'll work our way backwards. Let's see. 1 million strong. Hey, maybe rocking new era. It'll be a while. We'll get there. But yeah, we're going Greek. Going to the Greek. Have a safe weekend. Well, we all know a Smiley Dan will be having a safe weekend. I'm wondering if Smiley Dan won't be at Krungbin. Smiley Dan and I are, like one genetic slice away from kind of being the same dude. And we're musically kind of the same dude. I wonder if Smiley Dan's going to be over in Berkeley tonight. Stacy Leo knows what's up. Love Rock Steady. See, Stacy, this is why we were one of the coolest cats out there. One of the coolest cats out there. Holiday, the Boy George character from The Wedding Singer. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Madonna still sporting 20-year-old dudes. I mean, good for her. Here's the thing. Do you think she's actually happy inside, or do you think she's a little bit dead inside with all the boy toys that she's had inside? I don't know. I wish her well. The Madonna 69 tour. Good. Like a Prayer. Jedi's going with Like a Prayer. Not big on Madonna, but dude, Like a Prayer is still a banger, though. Absolutely. I remember when that video came out, it was very controversial because there was a wooden Jesus that became Black Jesus in jail. It was, whoa, for when that came out, that was spicy. If we're talking Madonna songs too, you got to give her love still on Starlight, Star Bright, First Star I See Tonight. That's still a great song. Live to Tell. What was that from Vision Quest? Or that was from a movie, Live to Tell. Great song. I have a tale to tell. That song. Now that's going to be stuck in my head far too long. La Isla Bonita. Ring through my ears, into my eye, your Spanish lullaby. All right, that's it. That's it. Is she the only artist to have number ones in 4 decades? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, look, Like a Virgin was a freaking monster. No doubt. I like the song Dress You Up to My Love. I love that song. Oh, Michelle, I do too. I miss those amp shows. I miss those amp shows so much too. I love those I was telling this to Jillian today. She's working from home today because we got to go get Jack orientated. I told Jack, we got to go get you, take you to kindergarten orientation. He's like, what does orientation mean, Dad? I'm like, well, it means you're going to find your way around. But I miss those amp shows. Those were some of the most fun I've ever had broadcasting anywhere, any gig, playing music and telling you why I like these songs. I loved that. I'm not your pal friend. I'm not your friend guy. Happy Friday, Daniel. Happy Friday to you. Thank you very much. Phil, we're not going to get into a little Fiesta Politico with you, but Donald Trump is a bigger fraud than fucking anybody involved in politics all time. Shut the fuck up. We got the receipts to prove it. It's been proven. And he's about to get absolutely slaughtered. So there's that too. That's going to be fun. Anything else? Anything else? Love for Bengals helmets. No doubt about it. Bengals helmets are dope. Is Cher still active? Well, what do you mean active? Oh, by the way, Cecil, thank you very much. I don't know if she's still active, sexually active. I don't know. Is she still doing infomercials? I don't know. I haven't heard from Cher in a long time. At Close Range with Christopher Walken. That's the movie Live to Tell comes from, Cecil. The fact that your last name is Music means you are totally qualified to answer that question. Crazy for You was from Vision Quest. Thank you. Thank you very much. At least my Madonna movie, I was close. Papa, don't preach. I'm in trouble deep. Papa, don't preach. I am losing sleep. I made up my mind. I'm keeping my baby. Gonna keep my baby. Ooh, oh. Sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, he's gone.